Okay, so if you just want to just tell me your first and last name first. You don't
My
mind.
name?
Yeah.
Yeah, Ron Powell. Then my name?
Yeah.
Yeah, Ron Powell.
Okay.
P-O-W-E-L-L, yeah.
So Ron, you were just saying that your father was here during the Welsh revival?
Where we lived and were born about 12 miles from here, a place just beside a place called Neath.
Okay.
And yes, my dad lived through the Welsh revival, and he was a great source of stories about the revival for me, which were very interesting, you know.
So you would have grown up listening
Oh yes,
to the stories.
yes, quite, yes.
Wow.
And it was being so near to Derwentfawr, where we are now, and near the college, and all that was happening here was something we were aware of all the time. For instance, Haile Selassie, the Emperor of Ethiopia, did you know that, came here? Rhys Howells, at a particular time in the history of Ethiopia, things were going badly out there.
Yes, I read that in the book.
Housed
Yes.
him. And the amazing thing was, you know, people would say, hey, I got on the bus locally today. Haile Selassie was on the bus. This is how we travelled around. And ever since, of course, his family has been coming, his grandchildren have been coming to the grammar school here, which was attached to the college here, you know, yeah. But the story I was relating earlier is found in a book by R.B. Jones, and it's called Rent Heavens. It's just a slender booklet. It might be out of print, I don't know, but you might be able to get it in Amazon, you know, and so on. Yeah, and there are numerous books on the revival, but it is he who relates the story of this young people's group. I'm repeating myself now, is it okay?
Yes.
That were meeting, young people meeting for fellowship and for prayer. And as Anne says, they were members of an organisation which Anne has worked for, Christian Endeavour. And one evening, this very young girl, only 14 years of age, had never spoken in public before. You know, we all have friends like that in prayer meetings. They're lovely people, but they just have never, you know, prayed openly in public. And she was, the story goes, just drawn to her feet. And she was heard to say, in Welsh, of course, because the language of the revival in Wales was Welsh, you know, it's a very, and Lacha and all those areas were very Welsh speaking areas. She was heard to say, Yr wyf yn caru Iesu Grist am holl galon. I love Jesus in English with all my heart. And apparently the Spirit just fell on that group. And it was, you know, R.B. Jones feels that this was the prelude to the revival. I mean, Evan Roberts was the figurehead. He did the preaching and the travelling and so on. But that's where it began. And I was saying earlier, it's amazing when you read the history of revivals, it's the young people. In the Hebrides revival, it's a group of young men. That was the beginning of the revival in the Hebrides, you see.
And the Moravians.
You know, sorry?
The Moravians?
Yeah, well, it's incredible when you know, the more you go into it, this is how it is. And I was telling Rick here the other morning when we were having breakfast that, you know, the first disciples, we think of them as old men, you know, Peter and Elsa. They were young men, you know. True. And Isaac Watts, who wrote that lovely hymn, When I Survey the Wondrous Cross, on which, in our hymn books it says, on which the Prince of Glory died. But the original text of that hymn is I survey the wondrous cross on which the young Prince of Glory died. So I mean, Jesus himself was a comparatively young man, wasn't he? He died. So it's interesting to find young people at the root of these movements. And we were chatting about this morning. Sometimes young people need a lot of counselling because youth being youth, you know, they can act precipitately, can't they? You know, and but they're people with that make commitments, you see, and
that's what it is.
yeah, so that's a little story of the revival. But my dad, you know, his stories of the revival. He was a miner, you see, and when the revival came, amazing things happened. You know, miners going to work, not Christian, yeah, no attachment to the church at all. Walking to the mines early hours of the morning, and just falling on their knees in repentance. Shops locally that were owed a lot of money because things were tough and hard in those days, and people were managing to get things but not paying for them. Suddenly there was a reformation as well as a revival because people were now wanting to pay their debts. And underground, of course, the ponies, they couldn't get all the ponies drag the drums along with the coal. They couldn't get the ponies to move because they were so used to miners cursing and swearing at them. And of course there was none of that good, and they couldn't get the ponies going. The other thing was, my dad was saying that everybody kept their, every miner had his shovel, his pick, you know, his own tools locked always, you know, because they walk. When the revival came, nobody locked it. Nobody took your shovel or your tool or anything. So that's the sign of revival, is reformation. It's the way the whole of life changes in the community. And the day Evan Roberts came to my home church in Resolve near Nice, just 12 miles from here, packed. Church is packed, you know, outside. And my dad said he can see him. He said, I can see him now. He had this, must have been in the winter time, he had an overcoat on. And he just walked slowly into the church, went into the pulpit, and just looked around. They were waiting for a fantastic message, a sermon. He never preached. He just looked around the congregation, and as he looked around, people were just, you know, falling, and, you know, where they were in the pews, on their knees, and crying and repenting and so on. He never spoke that night. My dad said, I can't tell you. I said, what did you think? He said he never preached, you know. Same with my dad. the morning war broke out in 1939. I was with my dad in church, you see. I look old, but I'm not old. 3rd of September 1939, I was with my dad in church. At 11 o'clock, the minister announced that war had been declared with Germany, you see. And 6 years of age, I mean, it was like yesterday. It's amazing. You know, what a child can. And I couldn't remember the message that morning, but my dad told me that lovely text, in quietness and confidence shall be your strength. That was the, you know, but yeah, so my dad, you know, he was the lay pastor of my home church in Wales. And lovely man, great man. And
What was your dad's name?
My dad is a very famous evangelist's name. His name was Ivor Powell, and you were too young to know. But Ivor Powell was quite a very well known evangelist, But that's not my dad. But that was his name, yeah. And he gave me, when I became a Christian, I mean, there never was a time when I didn't believe,
Right.
okay? It was that kind of home. And people talk about the wonderful stories of conversion. I haven't. I mean, you pass from Swansea into Lochar. I don't know the exact point you'll pass, but you know you've passed. And so my Christian pilgrimage was like that. I walked from darkness into light, but at what point I don't know, you know. You see, there was a commitment at my baptism, right, at 18 years of age. You
Yes.
know, very real commitment, but there never was a time when I didn't believe. You see, that was a type of home. And now I've forgotten, because of my age, I have forgotten what I was trying to tell you now. What was I going to